By the end of this video, you will have everything you need to become a dribble god in NBA 2K25. I will show you every dribble move there is in the game, but on top of that, I'm going to show you how to put everything together and discuss the new introductions to the dribble engine that are game-changing. These moves are going to separate you from a lot of dribblers because we unlock the full potential of NBA 2K25 by giving you all the hidden mechanics, secret moves, and more importantly, how to put everything together so you could be as saucy, as efficient, as effective as you want, whether you're a beginner or advanced user. And here are the 4 parts of the video, going from the right stick shot cancelling to the left stick and the left stick and right stick system. Parts 3 and 4 are a bit more advanced, but parts 1 and 2 are fundamental. Take your time with this video, keep coming back to it. I'll have chapters and specific sections for each of the moves so that it will be easier for you, but this tutorial is really meant to be very beginner friendly. So let's start with the basics of the right stick. Tap the right stick up left or up right to your non-ball hand in order to execute a front crossover. To the left or to the right to your non-ball hand to execute a between the legs crossover, and down left and down right to your non-ball hand to execute a behind the back crossover. So for example, if the ball is in your right hand, tap the right stick up left to execute a front crossover to the left. Now, if you start tapping the right stick in different directions, executing a combination of right stick dribble moves, you will execute different types of combos. In this situation, you want to study your player. What is the rhythm of his dribbling? And if you do it correctly, you will get a perfectly timed animation. However, if you just spam the right stick, you will get these janky animations. That means you're not comboing very well. Just look at how disjointed and how janky this looks compared to the previous combo. So what we aim to achieve with our right stick signature Sizeups are to get target combos. These are combos that 2K has decided that if you perfectly time and input the combination of right stick dribble moves together, you will get a nice set of signature animations with some really good properties. For example, for Jayson Tatum right here, he does a lot of side-to-side movements, a lot of long gathers that will add to your ability to beat your defender off the bounce. So let's break that down slowly. So with the ball in our left hand, we execute a double front crossover, tapping the right stick up right and then up left. Then we tap the right stick to the right to execute that between the legs crossover, and then up left to execute another front crossover. We have to wait for the in and out dribble animation to play out, and then we tap the right stick up left for that second front crossover, and then up right again for the last front crossover to combo into a speed launch and then into a step back jumper. So while signature Sizeups are not all effective, dribble packages like what Jayson Tatum has right here is very effective because it creates a lot of side-to-side motion that sets you up to cross over your defender. So next, we have our standard step back, which is done by tapping down on the right stick. These are short step backs, which again is a great way to reset if you want to create space if your defender is crowding you out. Now, holding R2 and tapping down on the right stick will give you a more aggressive step back escape. For Steph Curry, this adds a between the legs dribble to a behind the back animation with a nice hop backwards. It's very fast, very aggressive, and you can launch out of this into a nice smooth crossover. I love to use step backs and step back escapes to reset if my defender was able to follow my initial move, and if he commits too hard to trying to guard your move, hit him with that hop back in order to create that additional bit of space to enter into your next move. Step backs and step back escapes should be mixed up because your tendency will be for your defender to really try and crowd you. Alright, next we have our hesitation dribbles, which is done by flicking the right stick to your ball hand, in this case to the left, and an in and out hesi, which is done by flicking the right stick up right or up left to your ball hand. Alright, so I'll already show you some basic moves. Now, how do we launch or speed boost out of these moves? These Sizeups and dribble combos are used to really create momentum, create some misdirection, and use it to be able to beat your defender. This is exactly what I do with Jalen Brunson right here. I'm using the launches out of the crossover moves, which I use to get Drew Holiday to react. These launches are determined by your dribble style. For Steph right here, his crossover launch out of his standard Sizeups is a between the legs dribble into a nice forward and diagonal launch. For Jalen Brunson, as you saw, it's a sharper crossover using the front crossover, and it's very speedy, similar to De'Aaron Fox. So now we tap the right stick up left to execute a front crossover Sizeup. Now in 2K25, you have different options to launch. First, you want to use the left stick to launch, you can hold turbo or no turbo, you can cross over or launch on the same side, but be very aware that this is very timing sensitive. If you miss your input window, you will get a bad launch. So then it's going to be about holding the left stick up left or up right, depending on the options you want. In NBA 2K25, they added the ability to launch with the right stick. That is by tapping the right stick up left or up right. It's simple, more consistent, but it's less flexible. So in this situation, if I wanted to launch with Curry moving up and to the right, I would hold R2 and tap the right stick up right. You have to hold turbo if you're going to use the right stick dribble launch. Alright, so let's break that down. So I tap the right stick up and to the left to execute that front crossover. Now I'm holding the left stick up and to the right while holding turbo. What this will give is it will give that dribble style launch from Steph Curry between the legs, up and to diagonal through the right. Again, tap the right stick up right, hold turbo, hold the left stick up left to give you that Steph Curry crossover launch. Let's say you don't like the angle of that between the legs crossover launch. Well, the simple adjustment I make here is that I don't hold turbo. Now I'm holding the left stick up and to the right to launch out of my same front crossover, but look at the angle that this launch will give you. It's more horizontal, more side to side, and it gives you a nice ability to stop very quickly, adding that extra dribble move to get into a pull-up jumper. So this is why I say the left stick is more flexible. You have options once again to go to the same side or cross over to the other direction, and the simple adjustment of not holding turbo gives us new angles to launch. And I can't emphasize once again how quickly you can get into a shooting motion out of these left stick crossovers. Just take a look at how quickly I'm able to plant my feet, drag that right foot backwards to go into a shooting motion, and it made my job much easier. These are also great ways to create change of pace hesitation moves to launch very quickly out of. And this right here is an example of me using the right stick speed boost. So out of this Jaylen Brown target combo, I now tap the right stick up and to the right while holding turbo in order to give me Jaylen Brown's crossover launch, which will be similar between using the left stick and turbo and using the right stick and turbo. This again highlights the importance of dribble style because some people will prefer this crossover versus the one that Curry has. For Lamelo Ball, his crossover speed boost while holding turbo is actually what you call the momentum crossover in previous 2Ks. So once again here, I execute a nice combo move, tapping the right stick from left to right. There, I quickly tap the right stick up left while holding turbo to show you that you can initiate a speed boost using the right stick. Now, if you hold the left stick towards the same direction of your crossover move, that will give you a same side launch. For example, I tap the right stick left here to execute a between the legs crossover. I hold R2 and then hold the left stick up and to the left. Now, opposite direction, I hold the left stick up and to the right. This is determined once again by Steph Curry's dribble style, and it's his same side crossover launch for a lot of his standard dribble animations. Once again, hold the left stick towards the same side of your crossover while holding turbo. But what if you're not a fan of that double crossover before he actually launches? Well, once again, letting go of turbo and holding the left stick towards the same side of your crossover gives you a different type of speed boost. To launch out of it, once you initiate that left stick speed boost, then hold turbo. So here, after tapping the right stick up right, I then hold the left stick up and to the right without holding turbo. Just look at the different type of launch you will get out of it. Now at this point, this is your body telling you that you can Hesi launch out of this. So hold turbo, hold the left stick towards the basket, and you will speed boost out of this very quickly in a different angle and different manner compared to the previous speed boost where you had to do a double crossover. So now the decision to hold turbo or not hold turbo determines the speed of your launch, the angle of your launch, and the different animation. But also, choosing a different timing window for your launch will give you a different speed boost. Here is a delayed same side speed boost without holding turbo. Just take a look at how much more explosive that is. After initiating a behind the back dribble, I then hold the left stick up left, delaying it a little bit just so we get a different type of Hesi launch going to the same side. And then once you enter that animation, hold turbo, hold the left stick towards the direction of your launch, and you're good to go. take a look at the difference here. This same side launch is fine, right? But the previous one was way more explosive. Compare that to the one with the double front crossover, and that might just give you a little bit more time to be defended. But take a look at that last one. So once again, let's break this down. Same side crossover launch, that double front crossover adds a little bit more time, giving Ja the time to react. But the no turbo delayed same side launch was more fast, forcing Ja to turn his angle to try and cut you off. Little did he know, we set him up for a nice Curry special as a result. Okay, next we have our escape dribbles. Escape dribbles are basically executing any of the crossovers I've showed before, but now you hold R2. So here we just tap the right stick up and to the left while holding turbo. Escape dribbles are typically wider, typically faster, and generate more distance. These are great ways to literally escape your defender because of the speed and the distance that it generates. For Trae Young, it gives you that extra hesitation hang dribble which you can use to read your defender's reaction and basically beat them depending on whether they commit to guarding you. Book does exactly that right here, taking that extra 2 steps, allowing us to cross him over and get to the basket after a hesitation. So for between the legs escape dribbles, just tap the right stick to the left or to the right to your non-ball hand while holding turbo. So basically think of these escape dribbles as modified versions of your signature Sizeups. To execute a behind the back escape dribble, you have to combo it first with any dribble move, and this is done by, for example, executing a between the legs crossover and then holding R2 and tapping the right stick down and to the right to execute that behind the back escape. These tend to be a little bit floaty, a little bit less useful and aggressive, so what you can do is use the behind the back launch. Instead of one tap on the right stick, hold R2 and double tap the right stick down left or down right to your non-ball hand after executing a different dribble move. So for example, for KD right here, I hold R2 and tap the right stick to the right to execute this between the legs crossover. Then while holding at R2, I double tap the right stick down and to the left, which will give you KD's explosive behind the back launch. And just like you can combo your signature Sizeups, you can combo your escape dribble combos. So here while holding R2, I tap the right stick up left and then up right to execute that double front escape crossover. I like using this for a lot of aggressive side-to-side movements, trying to see what kind of reaction I get out of my defenders. You also have the ability to execute a front crossover to between the legs escape dribble combo. So in this case, tap the right stick up left while holding turbo and then to the right while holding turbo. And we already discussed it, but in theory, a behind the back escape dribble is always part of your escape dribble combos. So this is that double front crossover escape combo at work. Just take a look at how fast it gets you from one side to the next, and if you time it right, as you see right there, it was disguised really well with Kyrie Irving's escape dribble setup. You can also use your different speed boost launches to combo with your escape dribble combo. So for example, between the legs escape dribble into a launch, into that escape dribble tween, into an escape step back. That was very aggressive, moved you from side to side and forward and backwards. So let's break that down. I start by tapping the right stick to the left while holding turbo and then up right to launch into that speed boost, and then to the left again for that between the legs crossover combo, and then ending by tapping down on the right stick for that nice escape step back. So now you're seeing how we want to try and put things together, right? Try to make sure that you're dynamic in your movement. You also have the ability to combo with a nice hop back after a behind the back launch. So here, for example, we combo a crossover combo move into a behind the back launch into a hop back, and then you can still crossover combo that with another behind the back launch to get you to the basket. So let's break that down. I hold R2, tap the right stick from left to right. That's your crossover combo move, more on that later on. I double tap the right stick down and to the left to launch into a behind the back launch, and then tap the right stick up and to the left to execute that hop back. And then I double tap the right stick down and to the right in order to launch into that explosive behind the back launch. These combination of moves is so good because those movements are so exaggerated and so powerful, your defender will have to react. You can also execute a behind the back crossover after your explosive behind the back launch to execute a snatch dribble. As you can see, it's also very sharp, very fast, and creates a lot of distance. So here, because I launch with the explosive behind the back to the right, I just tap the right stick down and to the left while holding turbo for that snatch. You can also tap the right stick up left or up right to your non-ball hand after your behind the back launch in order to combo with a nice sharp crossover, as you can see right there. These give you options to counter your defender depending on how they react to your different crossover combos. Next, I want to discuss a special move that not everyone has. So Steph Curry has a nice escape hesitation, which is done by holding R2 and tapping the right stick to the left or to the right towards your ball hand, in this case to the left. You can also execute a nice aggressive escape hesi by doing this while on the move to the left or to the right. But one thing that sets Curry apart is the ability to cancel out of that hesitation move and combo with different inputs. In this case, I tap the right stick to the left to execute this hesi, at least the initial part of it, and then I tap the right stick up and to the right to combo into Curry's speed boost. In this clip, I execute an escape hesi into a behind the back escape. Now, you can do it so fast that even you cannot spot where the hesitation escape begins and the behind the back animation begins. This gives Curry's hesitation move a very special property of being able to cancel out of it very quickly. And from there, you can actually combo your behind the back escapes very quickly as long as you tap the right stick to the left or to the right towards your ball hand before executing your behind the back escape. Now let's talk about special right stick combos. With the ball in your right hand, tap the right stick to the right and then up left. Essentially, this is a hesitation dribble into a front crossover. You have to do this very quickly, otherwise you will miss a window and do a different type of combo. So with the ball in your left hand, tap the right stick to the left and then up right. I like to use Shammgod dribbles in combination with different dribble moves. This gives you an increased chance of activating an ankle breaker, but also it's a great way to set your defender up for a lot of misdirection. So for example, for Lamelo ball, a simple Shammgod into that momentum crossover launch was enough to get Luka into this ankle breaker animation. And trust me, guys like Lamelo have some very diverse dribble moves. You want to think about how you can combo with this. You also have an aggressive in and out dribble, which is again executed first by tapping the right stick to your left or to your right to your ball hand, and then tapping the right stick down left or down right towards the same direction. To combo your escape front crossover into a Shammgod, while holding R2, tap the right stick up left or up right to execute your escape dribble, and then quickly, while still holding R2, tap the right stick towards the same direction to give you that Shammgod escape. Now, different types of front escape crossovers have different timing windows. So for example, for Curry, it might be a little bit more delayed, whereas Kyrie is a little bit quicker. Next, we got combo moves, which is done by tapping the right stick from right to left or left to right to your ball hand or to your non-ball hand. So without holding turbo, you get two variations for each player, and these are part of his crossover combos. But part of his escape dribble package is now by holding R2, execute a combo move by tapping the right stick from right to left or left to right, again to your ball hand or your non-ball hand. So this is what it looks like from left to right with the ball on your right hand, and this is what it looks like from left to right while holding turbo. You get two different sets of animation, so 4 combo moves in total. And combo moves are really great because they incorporate a lot of side-to-side movement. For Steph, his aggressive combo move is a between the legs dribble to a Curry slide, which creates a lot of space. So a lot of these great combo moves for guards in particular are those that create a lot of side-to-side movement and generate some distance and space to allow you to combo into a different move. For De'Aaron Fox, this right here is a nice side-to-side combo move which you can combo into your behind-the-back launch, giving you a great angle to counter depending on how SGA reacts right there. For Jordan Poole, it's very similar. A lot of his combo moves generate a lot of wide spaces because of these fast distance creating dribble moves. You just combo that with your launch, force the defense to react, and we combo with this nice step back jumper, which gives us another beginner friendly target combo, your crossover combo chain. Try to find which of your combo moves work well with each other. So for Steph, for example, we start with the aggressive combo move with the Curry slide, and then without holding turbo, we enter another combo move. Those 4 dribbles are basically 2 inputs from your right stick, giving you an easy way to combo. Want to expand it a little bit more? This is what a combo move looks like when you combine it with your different types of dribble moves. Other than the combo move, we have our step back escape, and then into an escape front cross, which we combo into Steph's signature step back jumper. This is how you want to build on combos. Which parts of my dribble arsenal work well with each other to flow seamlessly into a nice way to beat my defender. Next, we have breakdown dribble combos, which is very simple. Again, another beginner-friendly combo. Just tap up on the right stick to give you this nice dribble sequence. An aggressive breakdown dribble, you just have to hold turbo and then tap up on the right stick, which you will see right here. It's a bit more aggressive, bit more fast, bit more loud in the movements that you make. And don't think just because you're executing different moves with just one input that you can't branch out of any of these moves. At any point of this dribble combo sequence, you can combo into your same side or crossover launch. You can even interrupt it with different dribble moves, hop jumpers. Here, I execute a regular breakdown dribble with Jordan Poole, tapping up on the right stick. Then I launch on the same side to the right and then combo with an escape step back jumper. If you want to see the potential of these breakdown dribbles, try to use Jordan Poole, specifically his aggressive breakdown combo, and see how you can combine that with different dribble moves. Here, after an aggressive breakdown combo, I combine it with a go-to shot, more on this later on, just by holding up on the right stick. Just look at how seamlessly that flowed with each other. And what's great is that for a lot of these breakdown dribble packages, they typically combo well with each other. So for example, for Jordan Poole right here, I just waited for the right time to combine those different breakdown dribbles together to get some nice animations. Next, we have our third target combo, which is the breakdown dribble combo chain. This right here is one of my favorites, and for beginners, this is a great way to see how things build up. So I start by tapping the right stick from right to left to execute a combo move. As that combo move is about to end, I tap up on the right stick to give me a regular breakdown. Just look at how seamlessly that flowed into this next sequence of dribble combos. Now, if I want to combo this with my aggressive breakdown dribble, when D-Fox is about to enter that hang hesitation, that's while I hold R2 and tap up on the right stick, which you can see right here. And then it enters into that nice aggressive breakdown, which I can then combo out of the nice smooth crossover into a step back jumper by holding R2 and down on the right stick. So again, let's try that regular breakdown into an aggressive breakdown combo and then end with a combo move, sort of reversing the arrangement of our first set of combos. So here I tap up on the right stick. Okay, this is the regular breakdown combo. It's a bit slower for D-Fox. We will wait for that hang hesitation in order to tap up on the right stick while holding turbo to execute the aggressive breakdown combo. And there it is. Once you get that quick 1-2 dribble, you know you're now in your aggressive breakdown. And here is where I want to tap the right stick from right to left to combo with the combo move to make sure that they're just more connected and I don't cancel the animations. So now I'm adding another wrinkle. What if after my aggressive breakdown, I don't even let it reach the hang hesitation and instead I use an aggressive combo move? So take a look at this. Here's my aggressive breakdown, tapping up on the right stick while holding turbo, and then I hold turbo and enter into a combo move, which is then comboed into a go-to shot, into a crossover, into a step back jumper. Okay, much slower this time. Let's start by tapping the right stick up while holding turbo. You will do this quick 1-2 crossover. From there, you hold R2, you tap the right stick from right to left to enter Fox's aggressive breakdown. Next, you hold up on the right stick to enter De'Aaron Fox's go-to animation. Let go of the right stick, counter with a speed boost, and then get into your step back jumper. If you are a beginner, I would start with these combos and continue building your arsenal from here. This will force you to practice your timing and see how animations blend. Next, we got spin moves and combos. So with the ball in your left hand, rotate the right stick counterclockwise to enter a spin. And if the ball is in your right hand, just rotate the right stick clockwise. To perform a crossover spin, rotate the right stick clockwise with the ball in your left hand and counterclockwise with the ball in your right hand. So imagine tapping the right stick towards the right, simulating that crossover move, and then just rotating the right stick accordingly. You can also do spins from a stationary position, but what makes it more useful, and this is a new move in 2K25, is your attacking spin. Now, rotate the right stick clockwise or counterclockwise and then hold R2 and tap the right stick up and to the left or up and to the right to the direction of your spin. It will give you that nice attacking motion out of your spin move, making it more dynamic compared to how we were doing it before. Just take a look at how this forces defenders to back up just a little because of the angle that it creates to drive to the basket. Here, I combo a crossover spin move with the right stick input to get that attacking crossover. The great thing about this is after you hold the left stick towards the direction of your launch, you can quickly combo into your step back jumpers. And that's exactly what I do right here with Jamal Murray, who's got one of the best ones out there. And one attacking spin I really like is from Lamelo Ball right here. Just take a look at the angle that this creates. After this aggressive combo move, we spin to the right. So we tap the right stick up and to the right while holding turbo. Look at the angle that creates. It allows us to get to the basket with ease. And if Aaron Gordon tries to recover, hit him with a step back jumper. This new move is a great way to add a lot of forward and diagonal pressure to force your defenders to try and move around, and then you just go into your shot creation bag and counter accordingly. I like using this in transition, stopping very quickly and then countering with a quick attacking spin. To do a spin step back after any spin move, tap the right stick down. This is a great way to give forward pressure out of that spin and then quickly counter with a nice snatch back out of that step back dribble. From there, just combo, launch, or do whatever you want with that opportunity. And what do I do here after creating space? I enter into Jordan Poole's aggressive breakdown combo. And man, this wouldn't be Jordan Poole if we didn't launch from near damn the logo. Jordan Poole can get really saucy in 2K25, and this is just an example of how devastating he can be. So to do a half spin, just rotate the right stick from 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock or 9 o'clock to 12 o'clock to do that half spin gather. So for example, if the ball is in your right hand, it should be rotating the right stick from 3 o'clock to 12 o'clock in a quick circular motion. You also have different sets of right stick spin combos by tapping the right stick either to the left or to the right, down left or down right, up left or up right to your non-ball hand to do a nice spin to cross over. I'm not a big fan of some of these combos, but I acknowledge that it's a great way to put your defender off balance just because they typically don't expect these types of combos. But again, if you are going to use them, it's a great way to cause an initial bit of separation, which then you can combo with your different types of dribble combos. Once again, what I do with Jordan Poole here is after the spin between the legs snatch, I then combo it with his aggressive breakdown and once again into his go-to shot. It's all about being dynamic on offense, being unpredictable, and making sure that you flow well into your different moves. Okay, next are your transition dribble moves. So basically, all of the dribble moves that I've showed up to this point, you can execute that in a transition setting. So you want to do a crossover in the full court setting, tap the right stick up left or up right to your non-ball hand. Dame Lillard has one of my favorites because it's a great way to snake around pick and rolls. Devin Booker also has a nice sharp crossover which gets him out of trouble. Luka is another one which gives you a sharp crossover, which I use here for a pull-up jumper. Want to do a between the legs transition crossover? Just tap the right stick to the left or to the right, behind the back, down left or down right. This requires you holding the left stick towards the basket. Lamelo Ball's probably got one of my favorite behind the back transition dribble moves just because it adds a little hesi at the beginning, giving your defenders something to think about, and then we counter with that behind the back, and just look at that, we get to the basket rather easily. Jokic has to foul us. You can also do your transition hesi, so Steph right here has that nice little skip move. He can also do an in and out dribble by tapping the right stick up and to the left or up and to the right towards his ball hand. Hesis are a great way to freeze your defenders, see how they react, and then counter appropriately. So here I use my in and outs and my Hesis to read how the defense will play me, and then just counter with easy step back jumpers. You can also use your combo moves, which again is done by tapping the right stick from left to right or right to left to your ball hand or your non-ball hand. You can also tap the right stick down to go into your different step backs. Now, the angle of your body, where it is angled in the court, will determine the different step back animations that you get. But the goal of these transition dribble combos is really to force your defender to commit so you can counter with your different shot creation moves. And again, don't get locked into just one move in transition. Once again, combo it with your different snatch dribbles and your hopbacks, which we discussed earlier, to see how you can create space by putting pressure forward and then retreating backwards. So in 2K25, they made blowout dribbles a little bit different. You still need to hold R2 or turbo, but now you have to tap the right stick up. But you can only do this while you're in the backcourt. It will give you that push dribble, which will give you a nice speed boost. For guys that have it, you can execute this in and out behind the back by tapping the right stick down left or down right towards your non-ball hand, and then tapping the right stick up right or up left towards the same direction. So in this case, with the ball in my left hand, I'm tapping the right stick down right and then up right very quickly. And just take a look at how we use that in a half-court setting to sort of split that pick-and-roll defense. This isn't a move that I generally use, but I know a lot of guys like to do these funky, saucy type of combos, and there are definitely a lot of nice combos you can work with this. For Book, it's just a nice little cute way that I like to do to get some misdirection and to keep my defenders off balance. With Lamelo Ball here, we combo it directly into a step-back jumper. For part 2, let's talk about how shot cancels will now improve your dribble game. So for example, for go-to shots, just hold the right stick up to enter into the signature animation sequence that typically starts with a dribble and ends with an advanced shot. So for CJ McCollum, whilst holding the right stick up, it will give you this nice 2-dribble crossover sequence into that behind-the-back dribble into a step-back jumper. Then just release the right stick when you're ready to shoot your shot. And because go-to shots contain some of the most powerful dribble animations in the game, in 2K25, your ability to cancel out of it and just basically use the dribble portion of the move. So for example, for Jordan Poole right here, we execute a aggressive combo move, then we hold the right stick up to enter into his go-to shot. Now instead of finishing the go-to shot, we release the right stick and begin to hold the left stick up and to the left. So now we cancel the dribble sequence out of that go-to shot to prevent it from going to his signature go-to shot. Instead, we launch out of it and combo it with a step-back jumper. So for CJ McCollum, he has this nice, very slow hesitation dribble out of his aggressive combo move. Very useless, don't you think? But you can interrupt that hesitation dribble by comboing it with your go-to shot and then immediately canceling out of it. Just take a look at this. Again, combo move, tap the right stick from right to left while holding R2, but then we immediately hold the right stick up so that we combo that hesitation move into the go-to shot. Release the right stick, hold the left stick up and to the left to cancel the go-to shot sequence, and instead, we basically use this as a crossover launch to get to the basket. So 2K25 makes you more dynamic because now it introduces new dribble moves in a typical shot creation package. This is exactly what we do with CJ McCollum right here. While holding R2, tap the right stick from right to left. And then hold the right stick up to launch into his go-to shot. Release the right stick, hold the left stick up and to the left to launch, and then hold the right stick down and to the left to enter into a step-back jumper, essentially creating another go-to shot sequence out of manual inputs. So now instead of waiting for that entire dribble sequence to play out, we just want to use the very fast crossover launch that's at the beginning. You now have options to combo this whatever way you want. So for SGA, for example, his go-to shot has a between the legs dribble that when you cancel out of, boom, it gives you a nice crossover speed boost. Next, remember that hop jumpers also have dribble sequences attached to them. So for Devin Booker, this is a great example. So after this combo move, we launch into a crossover launch, holding the left stick up and to the right. We then hold R2 and hold the right stick down into the left to enter into a between the legs step back. That's usually a step back jumper. We let go of square and then just combo into another hop jumper. I'll have another video on hop jumpers in particular, but essentially hop jumpers are done by holding R2 while moving at an angle, then holding the right stick down left, down right, down, or even in some cases left or to the right. So I'll have a more detailed tutorial on this, focusing on shot creation in particular. So now let's say we don't want to use that snatch between the legs dribble to combo into Jordan Poole's step back jumper. Instead, we can just let go of the right stick if you're using the right stick to enter your hop jumpers, and then just combo that with your left stick input. So for example, this Devin Booker step back jumper has a behind the back dribble while he's moving backwards. That is what the animation looks like when you finish the step back jumper. So to do that while launching at this angle, we hold the right stick down and to the left while holding R2. But before we go into the shot gather, we release the right stick and then hold the left stick up and to the left while holding turbo. This is why shot cancelling makes you a more dynamic dribble. Always keep in mind that these moves include a dribble move. So here, while holding R2 and holding the right stick down, that will initiate Devin Booker's hop jumper. We release the right stick at this point and keep the left stick held up and to the left to launch that way. And then we just combo with another hop jumper holding R2 and holding down and to the left with the right stick. Because hop jumpers will force a reaction out of your defender. If they recognize the hop jumper, your ability to cross over, to cancel out of it and combo it with different moves will put a lot of pressure on defenses, forcing them to react, and all you have to do is counter accordingly. You can even be creative. You don't need to counter with a crossover or a same side launch. Here, I manipulate the left stick out of this SGA step back jumper. I hold the left stick down and to the right to basically spin out of a hop jumper, showing you just how dynamic the system allows you to be as a dribbler. So in part 3, let's discuss left stick dribbling, which is a complete game changer. And if you're ignoring it, it's a big mistake. And this is why dribble styles are more important this year than ever. A lot of your left stick dribbling will be determined by your dribble style. And this includes your passive dribble sequences, which, take a look at this. After I initiate a front crossover into a between the legs crossover, there are extra 2 dribbles. As a result, these are called passive dribble hand switches. From there, you can use these dribble combos just like you would use your regular Sizeups. So in this situation, I take a look at the between the legs crossover and I see that my body is angled a bit in a hunched position, which is telling me that you can launch out of it. These don't require any input on your end, they will just happen naturally. But they can interrupt your right stick dribble combos if you're a right stick dribbler. So if you want to eliminate those passive dribble sequences, simply disable the setting. And as you can see here, after my front crossover to Tween, no more passive dribbles. The one thing about left stick crossovers, they are some of the best crossovers in the game. Just take a look at this. I'm just pushing the left stick up and to the left, and then I change direction by quickly pushing the right stick up and to the right while holding turbo, and just look at the launch that it gives you. The key here is you don't want to be holding turbo all the time, nor do you want to be pushing the left stick aggressively all the time. It's all about gently controlling your stick and using it to change pace. So now, not only does the left stick control your feet, not only does the right stick control your dribbling, but think of the left stick as a way for you to now switch the ball in different directions, giving you different types of dribble moves depending on the context. So I start by gently pushing the left stick up and to the left. This allows me to angle my body in a way that I can switch the ball to the right by holding the left stick up and to the right, and then holding the left stick down and to the left to enter a between the legs cross, and then up and to the right again, holding it a little bit longer to give you that nice glide Hesi animation, then holding turbo, and then just holding the left stick towards the basket to launch out of that left stick dribble combo. These are what I call guided inputs, whereas you can be as aggressive as you want on your right stick. You have to be a little bit more gentle, a little bit more deliberate with your left stick movements. And this right here is the perfect example, a crossover to behind the back that left Curry in the dust. So notice here, I'm not holding turbo to begin with, only when I want to burst, and then I quickly and precisely use left stick movements to combo into different dribble sequences. And there are big details here that you don't want to miss. I start by holding the left stick up and towards the basket, but the next move is to release the left stick and put it in a neutral position to allow Luka to slow down, which he does right here. Once you slow down, hold turbo and push the left stick up and to the right. That gives you the sharp crossover that we want. But from here, the next thing you do is you release turbo, allowing you to slow down again. Then you want to hold the left stick up and to the left. This specific behind the back animation was triggered because Luka's body was angled in such a way that when you enter the left stick, it gives you that specific animation. So generally, my tips for getting started with the left stick is to make sure you have a guided left stick motion, learn how to use the neutral left stick, selective use of turbo, and observing the animations. So in this drill, what I'm going to do is try to put all of those things together. I'm walking forward, slowly increasing the pace in which I hold the left stick, then put the left stick on neutral, then turbo launch, and then control the left stick again to get that between the legs dribble. So here I'm pushing the left stick up and to the right, but now I release the left stick and put it on neutral to allow Luka to slow down. Quickly hold turbo once he's begun to slow down and push the left stick up and to the left. And then I release turbo and hold the left stick down and to the right to end with that between the legs dribble. Keep doing this drill to give you a feel of how the left stick works. It depends a lot on changes of pace and making sure your body is at the right position to make sure that your dribble style will register this information so you can combo into your different left stick movements. And if you got passive dribbling on, making sure that you have guided left stick movements and you're not too aggressive with your stick movements will allow you to observe whether an additional passive dribble will be added out there. I've now played with the system long enough to know that certain dribble movements trigger some passive dribble motions at specific parts of the court, but this is something that you're going to have to get used to. The ability to let animations play out, let the animations breathe, and your ability to read the animation of your player and your defender will then allow you to counter accordingly. Here, I see this nice Hesi motion, which I can launch into a counter crossover by putting the left stick up and to the left while holding turbo, but instead, I use it to burst into a same side launch, holding turbo and pushing the right stick upright. I love using left stick dribbling even though it's a little bit more difficult because it gives you some really nice crossover burst animations. Once again, you see that nice hunched position which allows you to push off of your left foot. Those are the details that you need to watch out for. The benefit of letting animations play out and your ability to read these animations is you get some nice signature animations. So here, I execute the usual front crossover into between the legs dribble, but now I played with pace and you saw that nice little sliding behind the back dribble. That is a signature Luka animation that's activated by being disciplined with how you use the left stick. So always make sure to use pace the right way. With Curry, once again, I use just the same principles: neutral left stick, turbo burst, guided left stick movement, and then now, once you figure that system out and you're comboing with the rest of the shot creation system, maybe using some right stick dribble moves, step back jumpers, or whatever move you want, you're now going to slowly unleash the potential of this dribble system. So I start by pushing the left stick up, moving forward, and then release the left stick again. It's in a neutral position. From there, when Curry is slowing down, I then burst into a crossover, holding turbo and pushing the left stick up left. Release turbo again, put the left stick on neutral, which will allow us to make a guided up and to the right motion into this nice drag Hesi, which we can then burst out of. This shows you the value of not just holding turbo all the time and playing with pace. It's that dangerous in 2K25. And if you want to get better with this system, I recommend using Luka. He's a little bit chunkier, a little bit slower, allowing you to measure his movement a little bit better. That's what I noticed using guys like Luka, a little bit slower, a little bit bigger, a little bit easier to control, and he's my starting point for a lot of these left stick dribble moves. Guys like Curry and Maxey are a little bit difficult. Paul George is also a good one. Another guy that shows you the potential of this left stick system is SGA. Just take a look at how smooth his hesitation movements. Again, it's all about observing the body of the player. Here, we can see that he's leaning a little bit forward and to the right? So that gives us the opportunity to launch aggressively moving to the right, especially with how Luka reacted. So patience with this system will pay off. It requires for you to be precise with your inputs, the ability to read not only your defender but also your animations, and then just being guided with your inputs. I also like using the left stick more than the right stick, especially in transition, just because the animations don't have a wind up. They're also not as easy to pluck, but also once you figure the system out, you are introduced to some of the more powerful animations. For example, with Lamelo Ball, take a look at how quick the snatch dribble was and how easy that is to counter with a crossover. This is going to be especially useful in situations where you're able to counter contact with just the left stick. So take a look at this Curry snatch dribble, for example. Again, we're using our principles of pace. Turbo burst, neutral left stick, counter crossover, turbo burst, but Luka was right there. So we just hold the left stick down and away from Luka to counter with a snatch dribble. But the real next level of this system is now when you're able to combine your right stick and your left stick. What did you observe from that animation right there? To answer that, let's look at Curry's Sizeup combo once again. Let's take a look at his front crossover input. And once again, it's very flat. There's not a lot of side-to-side motion, right? But take a look at this. After the Sizeup, look at that. There was an extra Hesi and a tilt of Curry's body that wasn't present in a standard Sizeup animation. Again, this right here, standard signature Sizeup. But take a look of the body load up moving to his right. That was not present in a standard Sizeup. And this allows us to launch in a much better way compared to a standard between the legs front crossover launch. And take a look at this clip with Kyrie right here. Out of his between the legs Sizeup, what did we do? So here we're initiating between the legs Sizeup. We launch on the left with our left stick, but immediately control the left stick to go between the legs and then beat Buddy Hield off the dribble. So it's these guided movements where we combine our right stick inputs with what we know from the left stick dribble crossover system that will give us more dynamic dribble motions. So compare this aggressive combo move launch. First one had the usual between the legs cross, but the second one, what did you notice? That was a wide and quick crossover. So again, we do the aggressive combo move with the Curry slide. What I did was I tapped the left stick up left first, put the left stick on neutral, and then held the left stick up right while holding turbo to get a new launch. This allows us to use the powerful left stick dribble launches instead of the standard right stick dribble launch combos, giving you a different way to beat your defender. I mean, just look at how more explosive these crossovers are. And did you notice the quick ability to plant your feet, or quick stop as the community likes to call it? So if you don't like the specific Curry crossover launch, now you have options. So let's look at Tatum's standard speed boost crossover launch. Not very good in my opinion. Will get you easily guarded by your defender. Take a look at this angle. It's very flat and it's not very explosive, and in my opinion, this gets bumped really easily. But now compare that to the right stick combo with the left stick dribble system mixed in there. That speed boost is significantly faster and more explosive. So again, look at how I tap the left stick up and to the right before I eventually quickly hold turbo and hold the left stick up and to the left to give that signature Sizeup that extra boost by using a left stick crossover launch. Instead of tapping the left stick, maybe you want to hold the left stick up and to the right a little bit longer. It will give you this nice forward burst right there, which you can then counter very quickly into a crossover up and to the left. So let's look at a between the legs escape dribble into a standard crossover launch. Again, very flat. Compare that to this right here. Boom. That is a world of a difference. It's just a much sharper angle out of your crossover launches that wasn't possible with your standard dribble style launches, making Jayson Tatum that much more explosive to use in NBA 2K25. This right here is my definition of a game changer. We unlock Jayson Tatum from having one of the flattest front crossover launch speed boosts in the game to now unlocking his full potential because of the left stick dribble inputs. This is the true evolution of the dribble system. Making the right stick and left stick work together is what will open the game up for a lot of people who want to put the time in. 2K even introduced specific right stick and left stick combos. So in this situation, I do a combo move moving right to left and then immediately holding the left stick up. That will give you a sharp behind the back dribble, which is way better than if you comboed it with a right stick behind the back move. So now 2K is introducing new dribble moves based on right stick and left stick combinations. This is all dynamically generated depending on where you are on the court, your dribble style, and your ability to manipulate the left stick to get certain animations which you can continue to build up on. This right here is an example of a combo move combined with a between the legs into a step back, which is again showing you how right stick and left stick work well with each other. So once you learn how to use the right stick in combination with the left stick, so for example right here, I do a crossover physical handles animation with a left stick cross. Now you're really unlocking the system to its full potential. So physical handles animations are basically executing any crossover or spin move while somebody's bodying you up. Out of that, once again, release turbo, release the left stick, and just enter into your left stick crossovers. There's a lot in this video. In my opinion, maybe too much, but I thought the best way to communicate the changes in the dribble system is to show you the entire landscape, starting from our right stick to our shot cancels to our left stick and putting it all together with your right stick and left stick combos. You are not meant to pick everything up from this video in one viewing. What I recommend is that you take chapter 1, build on that, take chapter 2, build on that, and work on those two elements first. Left stick movement and right stick and left stick combos are the next frontier that I recommend you go to once you're comfortable with the base of the right stick movement and shot cancels. So I hope you enjoyed this deep dive. This took a lot of work, so I'd appreciate if you give the video a thumbs up and comment in the comment section below if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next one. We still got more to go. I hope you enjoyed this video. Peace.